don't have anything on my agenda. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen Workshop. It is July 2nd, 2026. It is 5:30 p.m. The prayer on Tuesday night will be with Alderwoman Hobbs. I will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone should have a copy of the minutes from the May 28th, 2026 workshop, the June 2nd public hearing, and the June 2nd regular meeting. We will have one presentation Tuesday evening from Ryan LeMasters, who's the new CEO with Stonecrest. We don't have anyone signed up for the public comment period, and departmental reports will be on Tuesday. Moving on to our old business, second reading ordinance 2026-11, an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the Laverne zoning ordinance regarding administration and procedures. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on April 28, 2026, and a public hearing was held at 5:45 p.m. on June 2nd, 2026. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. First, we've got approve or reject city bids and purchases. We've got number one, bid construction of the Public Works and Community Development Services Facility build out of Area E. And this is just like it sounds. You've got the quote in here, but this is to build out that additional wing. Does anyone have any questions? Number two is a Sourcewell contract purchase vac truck for the sewer department. And this is for a new vac truck. And it's $383,661. And this is budgeted item. We paid for out of the sewer department budget. Does anyone have any questions?
How long will it take to get that thing?
As soon as we get approval, we can get it delivered.
Nice.
Wonderful, wonderful. If we could only get police vehicles and fire trucks like that. No pressure, guys.
They need to stop wrecking the police vehicles.
Ooh. Shots fired.
See, I read.
Moving on to number three, Sourcewell contract purchase street sweeping truck for stormwater. And this is just like it sounds, $258,552. This is a budgeted item. And before you can even ask, it'll be 150 to 200 days.
I have seen that one we got. Man, that thing is ratchet.
Michael, do we have?
That's all I know to say about it.
Michael, do we have a plan if the truck goes out between when we get the new one?
It would just depend on the nature of the repair that was needed. We'd have to determine that because we don't put much money in it. I mean, obviously we will repair maintenance items, but if it's a $50,000 repair, we probably would make that recommendation.
Okay, so dustpans and brooms.
Shop vacs, I'm telling you. I see.
Chicken wire and duct tape.
Moving on to number four, NASPO, state contract purchase. This is for the Oracle Public Safety Suite. And this is a 6-year term that will total $1.1 million. The first year will be $345,000. And this will need a budget amendment. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to number five, quartermaster management system for the police department. And this is a year-long agreement for the police department. We'll have a free 2-month service period once approved. But this is for equipment return, provide maintenance, scheduling, documentation, all of that. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to number three, emergency purchase, 2026 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor vehicles with equipment. And this is $157,000 and will require a budget amendment as well to allocate these funds. Does anyone have any questions?
Let me have it.
Don't they go through driver training?
Wow. Yes, ma'am. State mandated.
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 Chief, Ford of Murfreesboro still has the vehicles on their lot?
Yes, that's what I'm told.
Okay. Any other questions?
These total prices, that's ready to go with the equipment and everything installed and
Yes.
radios and all that?
Yes, it is, sir.
Were on the ones that were damaged, were the radios and stuff salvageable?
We've already been looking at that and taking a bunch of equipment out. So, yes, we are cannibalizing what we have left that works so that we can, save as much money as possible.
Thank you. That's the deal.
Any other questions? Okay, moving on to number 7, state contract purchase for 2026 Ford Police Interceptor vehicles with equipment. This is $221,000, which this is budgeted, and this will come out of the police budget. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to number 8, emergency purchase, information technology services from Waypoint Business Solutions. And this is an agreement for quote for professional and consulting services with them for the redesign and segmentation of the city's computer network and related systems. This is $13,750. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to B, approve the Power DMS user expansion agreement with NeoGov. And this is adding additional users with that. It'll be 10 users for an additional $216.38 per year to the existing expense for that. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to C. Approve public entity partners insurance renewal for the fiscal year 2026-2027 year. Andrew, you want to talk about this at all?
This is our annual renewal. I tried each year to put in increases or decreases and rebates, so all the data that we've got is in your packet, along with the policies if you wanted to review them in detail.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to D, approve the annual renewal and hardware maintenance agreement with Local Government Corporation. This is Local Gov, and this is basically our annual charges for their software licensing. It's $63,556, and this is through the departmental budget for that. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to E, approve renewal with Target Vector Solutions. This is the fire department's training software. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to F, approve an agreement with Vector Solutions for Evolutions Plus. And this is an addendum to the Vector Solutions target system. And so this will allow the department to track evolutions across multiple programs. And so this is $37.92 for that. Does anyone have any questions? Next, we go on to G, approve lease and operating agreement with Senior Citizens Incorporated, DBA 50 Forward, for the Laverne Senior Center for the fiscal year 26-27. And this is our agreement with them. This is 12 months at $310,655, and this is part of the budget. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to H, approve scope of work and professional services agreement with Get Rescue 911 for the police department dispatch staffing services. And this is the service we've been using for our dispatchers. The total cost for the one contract is $69,200 for a 26-week period. Does anyone have any questions?
Aaron, how many are you down right now?
Right now, I am down, I believe, 5. I believe.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I'm slotted for 12 full-time. I believe I have, I'm trying to count and look at my staffing model. I think I have 6 fully trained. I have 1 in training, and I currently have 3 in the background process. But due to the length of background and getting them through all the testing and then training, if they are hired, it will take about 6 months.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Aaron? Oh, nope.
Oh,
You almost got away.
So
Not quite.
sorry.
So whenever we started with this group, it was kind of looked at as a short-term solution. How much longer do you foresee us having to use their services?
I am hoping this is the last time I have to come to you and ask for a 6-month contract. I can see potentially needing to extend one I currently have for maybe a month or 2, but I can't say honestly right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping that this will be it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to I, approve a professional services agreement with TTL Incorporated for inspection and testing services for Public Works and Community Development Building Phase 2. And this is for time and materials contract, and the maximum for this is set at $50,000. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to J, approve compensatory payment agreement with the Army Corps of Engineers, Blair Road West project. This contract is for a maximum of $308,560, which it is within the approved budget for this project. And it's for 2 major environmental permits. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to K, approve a professional services agreement with LJA Engineering Incorporated for the design of the North Clayton Estates Interceptor Sewer Project. This is one of the projects that we discussed about relocating from one engineering firm to another one just because of the workload. This is the other engineering firm. The agreement for this has a contract ceiling of $372,555. And it's to design a portion of the North Clayton Estates Interceptor Sewer. Does anyone have any questions? Then moving on to L, approve amendment number 1 to the contract with Mastech Construction for the construction and development of Blair Road West Extension Project. Bless you, Ronnie. And this is a change order.
That was Chris.
That's Chris. I'm sorry.
What?
He said, bless you, Ronnie.
Bless you, Ronnie. Oh. You can take credit for it.
He's getting blamed by Alderwoman Haas all night.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
So this is a change order to that for some redesign with the utility portion. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to new business.
I just want to make one request on the consent agenda, though. I feel like we should move out A1, the construction of public works, community development, the build out there, with that item being $2.5 million. I think that should be a listed item.
Which one is it?
No,
A1, she's talking about moving out of consent agenda and moving it into the new business. Bruce, can you take care of that for the meeting?
Yes, sir, we will.
thank you.
Moving on to new business, first reading ordinance 2026-12. An ordinance to amend Title 12, Chapter 6, Section 12-602 of the Vergne Municipal Code regarding the residential code. And this is just addressing, it's just housekeeping on addressing a discrepancy in the system where the word residential needs to replace international. Very minor, but still has to be through this board. First reading ordinance 2026-13, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2026-2027 general fund budget. It's a budget amendment for $503,054. And this is for items that we discussed in the consent agenda, talking about the Oracle Public Safety Suite, which includes CAD support on there, patrol vehicles, and whatnot. Does anyone have any questions? Number 9, first reading ordinance 2026-14, an ordinance to amend Title 10 of the Vergne Municipal Code by adding a new chapter regulating the keeping of domestic fowl, and amend the city fee schedule by adding a new permit fee. And this is about Kyle's favorite topic, chickens.
Do you really get that many calls about chicken that it's worth making an ordinance? Yes. Okay.
We have a lot of people who have chickens, whether it's for fresh eggs or...
No, I mean, I want chickens in my backyard, but I mean, I didn't know that we were really getting
Yeah, we get a lot of
about that.
codes enforcement complaints on chickens, roosters, chickens running at large. It's quite common.
I mean, how
serious.
many do you think we get in a month?
At least 1 or 2 a week.
Codes probably gets that many, and Facebook gets about 150 hits. So,
gangs of chickens.
so on the new zoning that we put in, so now they can do a maximum of 10.
That's correct. That's what's proposed in this ordinance. 10, and they have to be in a coop or a pen, a professionally made pen.
Can't have them in your front yard, Roman.
Professionally.
And a $25 permit to have chickens. Now, on a question on the permit, do current people who have chickens have to get a permit, or is this for new people who want new chickens?
I had the same question myself, and I was going to direct it at our city attorney, Evan Cope.
There's no right to a grandfather chicken. Everybody's
He has been sitting over waiting on that question.
See, it got deflected, Chief.
And roosters are prohibited, so anybody who has a rooster is going to have to get rid of it.
Oh, I don't have any chickens or roosters.
I was looking at you.
My dogs would, no.
I mean, let's face it, we all know people that's got them. I do, Jason, Carol, everybody. So if they have chickens as of today, they need to get a permit.
If this is approved. If this is approved.
In 2 months, if this is approved. This is 2 readings.
All right, if this is approved, no grandfather clause, professionally built, whatever that means.
Not in the
Then-
front yard. In the
Not
back.
in the front
not in
yard, and they have to be contained, and then they'll be
Can't be smelling.
good to go, no grandfathers. Because, I mean, I get questions about them. I don't know about the rest of them, but I do, and I don't have any problem with them myself. Roosters, yes. Ain't nobody wants to listen to that. But, okay, just want to make sure that there's no grandfather.
But you can't kill your chicken on your property? That's what this says. No slaughtering domestic fowl on residential property. You can't.
Trust me, we have a few that have whole sheds and that do it.
For eggs only.
Chickens are for
We
eggs
get
only.
complaints. Codes gets complaints on that.
And you really have to specify in this, I guess that's part of the government parliamentary procedure that drives me crazy. But you have to specify hen means a female, rooster means a male.
The bad thing is I've actually had that question presented to me, asking me what's the difference between a rooster and as she said, a chicken? And I had to explain there's hens.
All right.
So, yes.
I think it's good. I think it clears things up, because I get calls about them.
Only took us how many months in conversation, Kyle?
A little.
Well, I know me and Joe's talked about it. I didn't realize you had this on here until the other day when I got the email. So
We brought it to planning first and felt it better to go in the code.
minute things like that makes your life a little easier.
Yes, it does make enforcement a little easier.
Now, if we can just get that grass cut.
Amen.
Any other questions about chickens? Moving on to...
Wait, one more thing here. I got to ask, because I got to know.
I don't know. I still feel like people should be able to slaughter their chickens on their property. Like, really?
Do you all do
Some
that?
people do that for a food source.
Do you all do that in the Ridge? We don't do that over here. We don't do that.
I guess.
We don't do that on this side of town.
Okay, that's
Oh,
all.
hold on, we don't do that on my neighborhood either, so that's got to be one of the bougie parts of the Ridge.
We eat organic.
Organic chickens?
There are a few peacocks around, and they're extremely loud, but they're beautiful. I don't see anything.
I think there's a section where those are prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
Prohibited.
About peafowl.
Peafowl.
All right.
So you won't see the famous Lake Forest roaming peacock anymore.
Where's he at? I haven't heard about that in a while. Did somebody get him?
Last I heard, he was visiting the broker household.
He's probably out in the Ridge getting slaughtered.
Farm fresh. Okay. Moving on to number 10. Resolution 2026-21, a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare property owned by the city to be surplus to the city's needs and directing disposal of the same. Again, this is routine that we do. This is a dumpster from Public Works, and then 2 generators. Anyone have any questions on that? Next, we've got Resolution 2026-22, a resolution of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, amending and restating Resolution 2026-13, which established the Waldron Road Infrastructure Development District. A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, July 7th at 5:45. And this is essentially changing that, and in the original, I believe it was set to $1,550 per year, and this is changing that to $1,750 at the request of Meritage Homes of Tennessee and MI Homes of Nashville. Does anyone have any questions? Wow, quiet bunch on this one. Did not expect that.
We're still shocked about chickens.
Moving on to number 12, motion to change the name and the starting time of the annual Parade of Lights. This received a favorable recommendation from the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee on May 18th, 2026. Vice Mayor No, I'm going to let you kick this off.
I just want to be clear that this was 100% my idea. I had some conversations with people. The park board, we did vote unanimously. I don't want them to feel like they were pressured. Seems like the last few years, by the time it gets here and tree lighting, the temperature is frigid. The kids, I know you ducked out last year because your little ones were freezing. Now, if we change this, and if it comes that day, and if Tennessee weather shows us some 60 degrees, then I'll probably be a piece of garbage, but that's okay. I got big shoulders and thick skin, but I wanted it on here to get your all's opinions. This is not something that I feel like I'm set in stone with, but I think it needs to be discussed. I appreciate the idea that we're the only city that had the parade of lights after dark. I think that's pretty cool, but Kathy, and I'm not giving David any credit, Kathy and her crew came up with this really neat banner.
Well, I have that with me, but I don't know if I want to show it now.
Oh, did you bring it?
I brought one just because I'm bad, my memory's bad, so that way I would have the name. So if we change the time, we'd also require a name change to the parade.
But like I said, I just want to get your all's thoughts and opinions, and I feel like a lot of people don't show up because it is so cold, especially by the time we get to the park. Even Mr. and Mrs. Claus is cold. But, just we want to spend a few minutes and talk about it, and Dave, we'd love to have, if you got copies of those.
Well, I only brought one because I wasn't really anticipating needing one, but this is
Just
just a preliminary.
Just show it. You can model it for us.
I hit Chief Beasley. He's good at that.
There's no carrots or chickens in it. I'm out.
Yeah, so that's just a preliminary design that we came up with, just kind of illustrating the name. Of course, that's not set in stone, but that was the name change that the Parks Advisory Committee voted on. Changing the start time from 5 to 3. That way we're still lighting the tree in the dark, because it's usually dark by 4:30, 5 o'clock. That way we're still lighting the tree in the dark, and then it's not as bitter cold. Of course, we'll do whatever you guys suggest us do. Our crew's going to be here, whether we start at 3 or at 5, regardless.
I mean, I think it's late enough, it gets dusk enough by 3. I mean, by the time you consider we're down the road, it'll be 3:30, almost 4 o'clock. I mean, you can still do the lights and make it look really pretty, I think.
I think Parade of Lights is unique, of course. And that was from the inception, that's what it's been called. It's always been a night parade. That's going to take that element away from it. I don't know if that's going to hurt us or help us any.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's still going to be dark when we hit the park.
Right.
So if people want to decorate their floats, by that time of year at 4 o'clock, it's dusk anyway.
Right.
And if you look at it, excuse me, Smyrna's is at 2. Murfreesboro's is in the afternoon. I think Eagleville's is in the afternoon. So I know it's been a tradition for it to be at night, but like Alderwoman Hobbs and Vice Mayor Noe have said, hopefully more people will show up with it being in the afternoon and not as cold, and then stay around the park because the skating rink will still be there.
Yes, ma'am.
And so people stay around the park a little bit longer and do the skating rink, and that gives the opportunity for people to take part or partake in the skating rink for a longer period of time that evening.
Yeah, and before we made a drastic change, we wanted you guys to at least discuss it because it is unique to Laverne. There's not a whole lot of communities that do a night parade. So before we moved it totally, we wanted to just not have the shock factor, to get everybody's opinion on it.
Alderman Coates?
I don't have a problem with it. It makes sense.
Well, for my preference is still a night parade just because it's unique to Laverne. That's me. But it's ultimately, I'll go with whatever the board's decision is. Any other questions? We'll be able to throw candy.
Bruce, man, I'm glad you brought that up.
Daytime candy.
Daytime
Bruce, Evan,
candy?
I like nighttime.
Can we throw candy?
Oh, no. I thought you wanted my opinion on day or night, but no, you can't throw candy.
But you can throw chickens.
There you go. Thank you, David.
The ridge will turn out.
The ridge will be out there, kid.
Moving on to 13 is appoint and remove board committee members. We've got one vacancy. On the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, we've got one applicant, which is David Holden. His information is in the packet, and if anyone wants to apply, we should be advertising this on social media, and I'm not sure Channel 3, but anyone can still apply. They can, as long as you get your application in by noon on Monday. Tuesday. Okay. And then next we've got discussion cybersecurity notification letters. I'm going to turn this portion over to Bruce and Andrew.
Well, I mean, are there any questions by the board? It was my understanding there were
I have
questions.
a ton
Walk
of
through
questions.
what the letters are and why they're going out. 'Cause I know we talked about it before they went out, but
Right. Obviously, we had the data breach back in October. Since that time, we have been evaluating what they obtained and made determinations along the way as far as what data they have. So according to the law, we have X number of days to send notifications out to those people who were affected or who may have been affected, I should say. And that's why these letters have gone out. Early on, we knew that employee data was obtained, so we sent those letters sooner because we were aware of that at that time. The company that we're using, they've been going through the data and seeing what else was there. And so when we found that out, we knew we had to send additional letters. A lot of that is to water customers because account information had been sent out. We did send another letter to employees because we learned that additional information like bank account numbers and things like that were also released. So another letter went out to them. In total, this last week, a little over 25,000 letters were sent. And there's 3 different versions of that letter, depending on what information was released. So yes, we have been getting a lot of feedback regarding that. Didn't honestly expect that much feedback, but that's where we are.
at this point, I'm probably around 50 to 60 calls on it.
We've had a lot of people coming by and calling and whatnot. So yeah, it's been a large response.
Yes.
I want to hear your questions before I start.
No,
Well,
it's a
Hold on. Andrew, is there anything you want to add to what Bruce already said?
No, the information he provided is obviously what we know at this point. I will say that the evaluation of the data continues. There will be a third round of letters. So the data that was compromised has been on the dark web, and we have hired a company to obtain that data, and it is a very, very slow data return to us. It's just the speed of getting things from the dark web is very slow. So
Who
it
is
takes.
the third party?
I'm sorry?
What's the name of the third party company?
IDX.
IDX, the company that is also
That's the
providing
same
the
one.
fraud protection.
Okay.
Yep. And so they're obtaining the data. Once they get a file from the web, the dark web back, then the analysis of that data is completed, and we determine. My office, the attorney that's working with us on the case, looks at the data to see what protected information is there. So the third round is being done as we speak. I do know that is data from Parks and Recreation. I don't know what data yet. We haven't gotten a report, but this has been a phased approach, and I don't know that there won't be another phase after round 3. But we're trying to do notifications as soon as we get the data and we know that protected information was compromised.
So, Kara, what questions do you have?
Yeah, okay. So I do want to know more about, because I feel, as somebody that's been affected, I feel like it's been a long time from the occurrence to being notified. What was the delay? Was that our legal counsel at that time?
No, it's just the fact of getting the data back that was exposed and knowing what was in that data. And this is common for other companies as well. I believe it was Murfreesboro Medical got hit, year ago, and it was a long time before they notified everybody. So this is a common thing because it does take time to determine what data was put out there. And it's just taken a long time. It took the company a long time just to download the data from the dark web in order to begin analyzing it.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Moab hack, the mother of all breaches that happened in January of 24. I'm still getting notifications on that for my data from various companies.
Also, part of that delay, if you remember, is, or just to remind you that the cyber event happened, then there was that negotiation period that the hackers were attempting to get funds from us, which obviously we did not do.
Right.
Then there was a timeline where we were unsure if they were going to release the data. Working with IDX, TBI, FBI, we determined that release had happened, and from that point is when we started to work to capture the data through the company. So it's not like the cyber event happened and then the very next day the data was released and then we started analyzing it. There's a long number of weeks that took place before any data was even exposed.
Okay. And then what's the legal liability of somebody like that's not been identified and mailed a letter but is still affected? I mean, I'm sure that's a possibility, yes?
It is possible. I'd have to turn that over to Evan. I'm not sure what liability we would have.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what the circumstances are for that unique person. I don't know that would be any different than anybody else that's been affected.
Okay.
I
Because
think we have to make our best attempt at notifying everybody.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'll use my own self as an example. I got 2 letters mailed to my house to my children. My husband and I did not get letters. The following day, I got a letter that's not even in my correct name. It's in a previous name that I used to my work address. My husband has not gotten any information, not at work or anything. So that's, even I'm concerned at this point that, what if he's affected by this? And what's the legal liability? Like, are we going to get slapped with lawsuits by people that have not been notified? Like, is that something we need to consider, have a game plan for?
I can address the first part. I'm not going to address the legal liability. I'll leave that to Evan. So, based on the records that were accessed, it is very likely that people received letters in a maiden name because that maiden name was on a marriage certificate that was accessed. So as the data came in to us and as we throw it into an Excel and sort it, right, we're looking at what is protected information: name, social security number, date of birth, driver's license, bank account, right? The routing information for your bank is very public. That routing number is for that bank. It's the same. If I'm at Regions and you're in Regions, we have the same routing number, right? The account number is what is specific. And it was determined that a large number of employees and residents, their account number had been accessed. And so there's a letter that deals with that. So you might get a letter in your married name. You might get another letter in your maiden name. If you get letters addressed to minors, it's because their information is provided in health insurance that we cover. And so birthdays and social security numbers would have been exposed in that health file. So, that's probably less likely for a resident, but more likely for an elected official or an employee who we cover through our health plan.
Do we have a number on how many employee and citizens' records have been compromised?
A little over 25,000 notifications in this second round, which equals the number of lines on the Excel spreadsheet that had specific unique data. In the first round, we did 993, something like that, which was employees and former employees. Round 1 was a little more preemptive because some early information that we saw, we said it is more likely than not that employee data is out. So let's go ahead and do everybody that's in Dayforce and anybody that we have current information for. If we missed an employee and they're in round 2, we'll get them in round 2. So round 2 data is, like Bruce said, a little over 25,000. And then we will address round 3 when we get that database.
And there is duplication in round 2 from round 1.
Absolutely. Yep. And it was an intentional decision from HR and administration to go ahead and duplicate those letters, because we might have communicated to you in round 1 that we thought your personal data had been exposed, and in round 2 your bank information has been exposed. So we wanted to go ahead, and we also re-upped the amount of time that the city and the insurance company will pay for fraud protection through IDX.
Were all the departments affected?
Yes.
And do we know how they gained the access? Has that been determined?
Yes.
So how do we release this information to our citizen? Like, is there going to be some kind of final report?
Well, a lot of that information we cannot release just because of the technical nature and that sort of thing. As far as what data has been released, we can't really release that to everybody. That's why we're sending these notification letters out to individuals.
So in short, not to speed it up just so I don't forget, if a citizen's got concerns and they want more information, who would they need to contact?
There is a phone number on the letter that they can call
I've
to
seen
get
that.
information.
So they need to call them and not us.
That would be the first step. If they have more questions, the company will forward those to us for additional follow-up. And because that company does not know what data specifically, or why the personal information was in the data for that person, if that makes sense.
But if a resident has not received a letter, calling and asking would not generate a response, because right. I don't know until I get the next file if they would be affected or not. So if they did not receive a letter, it's either because they didn't receive a piece of mail, or their name is not included. The return address on the letter is one of the most common questions I've gotten when I speak to residents this week. It is the Laverne logo, and it is a Sacramento, California return address. It has to be that way because that is where IDX is headquartered, and all undelivered mail will be returned to them so that we can log it as meeting the requirement for notification, return bad address, and then try to find a better address. And I know that's throwing residents off. Every single person I've spoken with, when I've explained it, has said that makes sense. There's also a page on the city website that validates that the letter is from us and has explanations of how to follow instructions on that letter.
That page has been shared to social media through the city's City Hall page.
Correct.
What were we deficient in prior to the cybersecurity attack that left us vulnerable? Do we know? Where
Yes.
did the threat come from? Was it internal, external?
Again, I don't think we can really discuss that because of the security implications that would be for our systems. We know how they got in, yes, but we can't really talk about that publicly because of the safety concerns. I know that's frustrating, and I apologize.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a way to convey this to the public, to explain what happened, what we've done to fix it.
Well, we can do that part as far as what we're doing to make things better. And Glenn can certainly talk about that better than I can. But, we can certainly talk about how we're making our network stronger and better in the future. But we can't really talk about, how they got in the past.
Right.
And part of that is it's at high level put into the letter, but realistically, and this is part of the frustrating part of the whole thing, but instead of just rebooting the system and going back up, we're rebuilding the whole thing. and segmenting portions of it, such as police, such as the library, and building it back so that in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, this doesn't happen again, versus just bringing back online what we had. And that's the frustrating part of how long that takes. I know I've worn Glenn out on it. I know he's frustrated with all the requests and trying to find memory chips for everything, but that's what we're doing is rebuilding it, but rebuilding it in a better way so that this doesn't happen again.
Well, what's the timeline for that look like, for us to be back 100%?
To be 100%? Glenn, you want to chime in?
Just like we were before.
We've some of the things that, like today, or we will vote on at the meeting, the Waypoint contract, that is the group that we are engaging with to design and rebuild the city network. We've already engaged with Mission Critical. That was on a previous meeting. That is the group that is designing the police network. So those designs are in progress right now. Mission Critical has given us the equipment list. We're in the process of getting quotes for that right now. The Waypoint has we met with them for about 3 hours to discuss what needed to be done, what we wanted to be done. They're in the process of designing that right now. As far as time, it's not going to be one boom, everything. It's the same time. It's going to be phased. Police will probably come on first, then maybe the library. So
What's the purpose of doing it in phases?
Sorry?
What's the purpose of doing it in phases? Money?
Well,
is it a money thing, or
equipment, manpower? The designs will probably come in different phases too. So they're going to be. I don't want to say too much about what our architecture is going to look like. But
by the end of the year?
Yeah, I would think so.
The biggest part of that is the equipment, and we've all seen everything going on in the Middle East. That's still going on, and we think oil, we think gas prices, but that Strait of Hormuz also controls a lot of our memory chips to get through, and a lot of importing. So that's been a delay for several months now with that.
Right. Supply chain right now is really bad when it comes to computer parts, because you have all of these, and I hate to use the word data centers, that are, basically taking all of the memory that's available and using it for their facilities. So everybody else that needs it is having trouble getting it. So that's just an issue that we're having, is trying to get these servers, get these parts and equipment that we need to rebuild. It's just taking longer than it should.
Alderwoman Hobbs, can I just address two things you just said, just for clarity, in your last question? Before Glenn answered the question that you asked, you just quickly said, well, what's it going to take to get us back to where we were? From the risk side of the equation, not the infrastructure building side, but just the risk side, we'll never be the same. It will always be higher security, more in-depth policies, because anytime you have a risk event like this, you always build back stronger. So it will be much more advanced than I'm sure the city has ever, I'm not going to speak for Glenn, but that the city's ever had. Yes. And so I just wanted to just mention that to you. And then the second thing I will say is, and I don't want to give any credit to the hackers by name, because I don't think it's worth it. This was a highly sophisticated hack. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of cyber events that take place daily around the globe. The organization that affected us is to what TBI and FBI referred to as a highly sophisticated group of people. This is not just one dude, trying to break the code. This is a network of hackers who work together, and when one fails, the next one picks it up until they win. And they're all about the money. When they didn't get the money, they went on to the next thing. The group has a name, and They've got websites that publish daily, the list of organizations that they've hacked that day. It's in the top 10 worldwide. So while many employees, residents might have received a letter for the first time, our protected information has been and will be exposed by tens or hundreds of companies that we engage with as consumers on a regular basis. So if a resident feels that they have been compromised in some way, whether it's through a financial matter or an account matter, if they receive a letter that talks about that their bank account information has been exposed, the recommendation is that letter is to change your bank account numbers. Go to the bank, request a new account number. I spoke to 3 citizens yesterday who called and wanted to verify that specific information. And 2 out of the 3 said, well, that's just a lot of work. I don't want to do that. That's their choice. No problem, right? But that's the recommendation in the letter. But if a resident feels that they have reason to believe they've been compromised financially, the first call they need to make is to the police department to file a case. And then the second call, can be to sign up for the additional theft protection. And there's information in the letter, and there's information that you'll get from IDX once you sign up that you can track. There's an app that you can see it. There's email updates they send you and tells you exactly where your data has been exposed and what you can do. So it's a really, really good piece of product that is underused. Right? 993 notifications in round 1, and like 1%, 2% took advantage of the free tracking. So it's there. It's a good service if you don't have it already. I just wanted to clarify, though, that the level of sophistication was not like your normal everyday. It's the kind of group that goes after the healthcare and the school systems and all of that kind of data.
Do we have any rough estimate on what the cost to the city has been because of the hack?
Well, obviously, there is a large cost to rebuild the network and everything. As far as these letters and the services that are provided by IDX, the majority of that will hopefully be covered by our insurance company.
Okay.
Our policy covers up to $250,000, and we are quickly approaching that limit. Now, depending on how many people respond to this letter and sign up for those services will determine, I should say, how much of those funds we have. There is a possibility that we will have to come back before this board and pay a portion of that out of our own pockets because will have run out of coverage from our insurance company. We don't know right now because we don't know how many people are going to sign up for it. As far as the monetary number for new equipment, computers, networking, we don't have that number yet. I know Glenn's working on the rebuild, but we have not calculated all of those costs at this time. We will once we get finished or close to being finished, and we'll certainly let you know at that point. But right now, we don't have that number because things are still in process.
I'm trying to code anything involved with the rebuild to a special budget code.
Okay.
So that way we can track that.
Great.
When it's all said and done.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No,
Sorry.
No, you did great because you got all my questions on here. I think it's important that obviously the TV is down and the citizens can't watch it, but we need to encourage them, especially on social media, to listen to this workshop, particularly the last 20 minutes of it. Because like you, it's frustrating. You get tired of saying, I don't know, shrugging your shoulders, because they want to know what's going on. And from what I'm hearing, the best advice we can give them is to do what that letter says. Now, like Andrew says, if they choose not to do that and something happens, then it's on them, correct? Because I will be taking care of my stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if in general, in today's economy, if you are not tracking your ID theft somewhere, somehow, that would probably be a miss. You probably want to do that. And this is a free service that we're providing for them to do that.
You said you had some phone calls. Has anybody actually been hit? They say anything?
Not that I've spoken to in round 2. We had employees that were affected in round 1, and we obviously found resolutions for those, but I haven't spoken to anyone other than they just have a question if this was a legitimate letter.
All right, good discussion.
Any other questions?
Okay. I just want to clarify because I went in, I did the QR code the first time. I went in to do it the second time, and it said I'm already in there. So we have been extended from what the time of the first letter is.
And that's my understanding, and the dates should be included in that letter, what the time frame is of the coverage that's provided.
For the new one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you ask all my
Alderman Coates?
I'm good.
Mark my stuff out.
Okay. And if you get additional questions about the security incident, reach out to Bruce, reach out to Kyle, Andrew. They can go through any of that as well for the board members. With that, we'll move on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderwoman Hobbs.
All right, let's party Saturday, right? I'm ready. Yeah.
July 4th.
See everybody out there, 5:30. Is that right, David? Yeah. Ready to party. My favorite holiday. Party. Best time of year.
No beer wagons.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alderman Coates.
Everyone enjoys July the 4th. Leave it at that.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
I just want to give kudos to Amber and Annalee and those who participated in the RAD training this past weekend. It was Friday night, all day Saturday, and half a day Sunday. And when this goes out again, it's a rape, aggression, defense techniques for women. It's a good course, and I was amazed at how much I retained to do the simulation on Sunday. I won't say how much I beat up them people, though. So anyway, it's a very good course, and I highly support it. And when a notice goes out again on Facebook, I highly encourage females to take the course because it empowers you. And not that I have been empowered enough, but I am more empowered. And confidence level, there was one lady in there that came in timid as a church mouse, very soft-spoken, and when she came out of it, she was raring to go. Her confidence level was up to here, and that's what makes these courses a success. So, highly recommend it, and you'll hear from me again when the next course comes out to apply for it. And see everybody at the party. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Vice Mayor, no.
I want to say thanks to the fire department. They came down today and cooked burgers and dogs for the seniors, and they had a large time. And this is going to taste terrible. I've got to apologize to Chief Mays for bad-mouthing him today because they were supposed to be there also, but I found out later that they had some mandatory stuff. But that's okay because now we can get the police to come down and cook for them when we get the opportunity. But I did badmouth him, so I...
Oh, he really did. I mean, it was...
I defended you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chief
The first time
Beasley
fire's
defended.
ever defended police.
I think Pinocchio was over there somewhere.
The seniors love the men and women in uniform, and the firefighters today did a great job out in that heat and cooking, and the seniors, especially the ladies, they just ooh and ah. So I look forward to having the police department come down. That's it.
Well, I just want to remind everyone, Independence Day, Veterans Memorial Park, gates open at 5:30. We've got zone status playing. No fireworks in the park, please. Police department already get enough phone calls about fireworks, so we don't want any in the park. But come down. My family will be there with a canopy and some chairs. Everyone's welcome to join us. Do want to thank Vice Mayor No for covering the city last week. Allowed me and my wife to take a trip. Today is our 21st wedding anniversary. So we went to Branson last week. And but I did want to bring you a gift to thank you.
Oh, God.
And so we found a special brush just for you. It's the bald man's brush. Just for you. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.